watch us here live on YouTube or in the future. We're starting this webinar as always, signature June in each week, and that was done by our global ambassador by the name of Jacqueline Sharon, and Dr. Derek has a very unique touch to the music and explain featuring products of Ambassador. So please pay attention to the music and this because non-verbal communications is for itself. Thank you so much, and I'll pass it over to Dr. Derek to start with me too.
Your next stop is on Passive.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Derek. Oh my goodness. Based on the nonverbal communication from In It to Win It, for the last 4 minutes, I noted 3 things. The partner platforms that we also have to hold webinars with. Not only that, some of our products, or Bless, or Connect, or Mail, or Tracker, or Net, and Otrim were also featured. And the regional offices of OnPassive were featured from Dubai, Abu Dhabi, India, Egypt, US, and Singapore. That's what you can get from just watching this. Thank you for your wonderful mind and creative ideas in putting this together, Dr. Derek. We very much appreciate that. So we're moving forward to the mindset, which we all know is affected by 2 things: the physical provided to us by our one and only CEO, Mr. Mufare, and the mental. And the mental, we work on it on our own. And our mindset speaker today is Queen JW, and she's going to talk to us about a topic that she started last week. So the continuation or the completion of that part, or I should just say the continuation, not completion, because she may come up with the part 3 or 4, who knows. So Queen JW is going to talk to us about why we are sick. And this is the second part of a series that she's working on. Queen JW, our wonderful international inspirational speaker. She's an entrepreneur, a talk show host, and besides that, she's also a mom and a grandmom. We're honored and blessed to have her. She is here, and I'm going to pass the microphone over to Queen JW.
Yes, good evening, good evening. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction, Queen Debbie. And hope you're feeling much better. You're looking well. And thanks to Dr. Derek for allowing us to speak on this platform. And thanks to all the leaders that just keep on keeping us up to date and empowering us and keep giving us the mindset that we need to be successful, to become the best version of ourselves. Yes, tonight is a continuation of why we are sick, and I'm going to be talking about toxins a little bit. And also, remember last week we ended with the 4 reasons why our immune system could be weak or genetically weak areas in our body that can break down, causing illness and disease to develop. And the 4 of them were, we have an overload of toxins in our body. That was number 1. And number 2, we have nutritional deficiencies. Number 3, we are exposed and negatively affected by the electromagnetic coils. And number 4, we have trapped mental and emotional stress. But tonight we're going to focus a little on the first one, which we have an overload of toxins in our body. And we thought, food will be the only thing, but it looks like the pharmaceutical and the food industry kind of work hand in hand, because it's all about profit. It's all about money. It's all about greed. It's all about power. And we tend to fall victims to all of this if we're not educated, if we don't know anything, without knowledge power. And so when we have knowledge, we can make better decisions in our lives and in the lives of our families, friends, societies. So knowledge is a real important factor in our lives. So let me get started. These 4 things cause our bodies to be out of balance. And when your body is out of balance, it doesn't function effectively, it doesn't function properly, causing us, of course, to be sick. So the first of the 4 things is toxins. What is a toxin? A toxin is a poison, simple as that. It's a substance that, if taken in large doses, can cause severe illness or even death. So the question one can ask him or herself, how toxins get into our bodies? The answer to that question is that we're not educated enough in knowing what toxins are. Now, please don't be alarmed, but toxins are being put into virtually everything we put in our mouths without our knowledge. For instance, Mr. Kevin, in his opinion, stated that the number one reason people are sick is because of the number of drugs they take. Statistics also has shown that the more prescription and non-prescription drugs a person takes, the sicker they become. Why? As we know by now, all drugs come with side effects and negative side effects. For example, when we go to the pharmacy to pick up our medication, it comes with a printout informing us of the side effects. So in other words, we are all well informed of the side effects, and we also have the choice in taking the risk. Unfortunately, when taking a drug for one problem, of course, another problem is in its development stage. So even if you stop taking the medication, the damage is already in process. Then in a couple of months, you start to develop symptoms, and you go off to your physician office again, and you will then be prescribed another medication. Sad to say, this becomes an ongoing process until the immune system becomes weak. And that's why you notice that a lab test is done most likely every 3 months. And it's not you telling the physician what you want on your lab form, what to check off on your lab form. They automatically knows exactly what to look for because they know the side effects of the medication. So of course they know, let's check the liver. That's the first one, because that filters. It takes care of the body. So just think for a moment, does the printout of the prescribed medication say, you will be cured with no side effects? It doesn't say that. Remember that drugs or medication only suppresses the symptoms, but it does not treat the cause. It never gets to the root. Yes, you might have an explanation of why, for diabetics, the insulin getting into the blood, they may be doing, you can't do too much carbohydrates and all those stuff. But that's not the root of the problem, because every one of us cannot have the same issue. There got to be, everybody is different and system works differently. Yes, we have all the same organs, but everybody's body or systems within the body works differently. So all of us can have the same problem, and all of us not supposed to take the same medication. But unfortunately, everybody that's a diabetic, everyone is taking metformin. And if it's not metformin, they're taking insulin. And it's the same thing, repeating itself over and over. And yet no one has gotten a cure. Unless they try something outside the prescribed medication. And that's why we talk about the herbs, different herbs that do different things, different foods. But unfortunately, the food is an issue. So the mission of this is definitely a cash flow for the drug companies. It is truly because once they get you to start taking the medication, or even one medication, it's a domino effect. It's downhill. It's not uphill. It's downhill from there. Because then you just start getting different symptoms, and you go to the doctor, or you know it, you have your own pharmacy at home. And if anything, if your home is looking like a pharmacy, something is wrong somewhere. And right there, you can tell that the body is weakening. The immune system is weakening, leaving you open. Your shield is down. And anything and everything, every virus, every bacteria that you come in contact with or you pick up along the way, because your immune system is so weak, it attaches itself to you. Can now your body fight? Can't. It's too weak. Just think of yourself when you're sick. I just don't have any energy. I remember when my sister was so sick. She's getting better slowly but surely. But the virus that attached to her was because her immune system or her systems within her body is all out of balance. And so you want to feel better. I talked to my cousin this afternoon. She also has the virus. Whatever is going on in the air. And she's taking one thing from another thing. The doctor gave her something she dropped in a liquid today in some water. And she tended to feel, when I spoke to her, I said, did you just wake up? She said, no, I didn't sleep for the day as yet. But you can tell that she's sick just by the tone of her voice. And she's still pushing. She might make some of her remedies at home, but she's also taking the physician, her doctor's medication. And you don't know if the two can work together. That's the next thing. And that's where educating ourselves comes in. When we don't know, we just do it because we don't know. Does the medication I'm taking contradict the natural herbs I'm using? Do those two coincide together? Are there side effects? We don't know. And we just take it. Even when we read the printout. I know when I read the printout and I see it caused this and it caused that, I don't want to become a statistic. So I refuse. It might not sound like the best thing to do, but the honest way it can be a successful choice is that I'm looking for other ways. I'm just not going to say I'm not taking it and sit back. That would be very dumb. Simple as that. Dumb. You got to have a plan. You got to figure out something to help yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're stuck with yourself. And sometimes all alone with your sickness. If you're not surrounded with people that cares. So let me continue. And like I was saying, the mission of the drug companies is to get you started into taking medication. And then you are in it, but not to win, but to lose. Like on passive, we in it to win it. But when you are getting sick and your immune system is weak and you can't fight, you're not winning. You are losing. It's downhill. It's not uphill like on passive. So just think for a moment. Where am I? Okay. And then you're in it, but not to win it, but to lose, and most likely your life, your health. I can guarantee you that the cost will be more than you will pay for Oconnect. Because you will spend so much money just trying to get better or feel better. The body is not supposed to get sick because it was made to fight. Whatever comes its way, hey, I'm going to take care of that. Get rid of that. Let's flush that out. But no, it's so weak. It can't even flush anything out. All it can do is accept because it's too weak. Just think of a boxer in the ring when he got so much punches and he can't take it anymore. He just surrender and say, put up his hand, that's it, can't go no more. Well, just think of your immune system in that fashion. So some people have stated that it's only a small amount, but try taking 30 pills at one time. What do you think the outcome would be? Well, you will either overdose or you will die. I remember a friend who overdosed themselves. Even my own sister. She took some pills. I don't think she took all 30, and that's what makes it so bad. They're talking about 30, but sometimes you don't even have to take 30. You immediately become sick. So even in small amounts, there's still damage being done to our systems. So don't think because it's just a small dosage that, we don't have to worry about it. It's okay. Is your physician telling you that it's small doses and you don't have to worry about it? No. He's giving you the prescription. He's not even going over no side effects. He's not even getting to the root of the issue of your problem, and not talking against physicians because they are only doing what they were taught to do. Simple as that. So they're not the wrong ones here. The culprits are the FDA, the food industry, and the drug companies. So don't get it twisted against the physicians. Okay? The drug companies, along with the FDA, is well aware that prescription and non-prescription drugs cause illness. They're well aware. Disease. But it's all about, again, profit. It was stated by Mr. Kevin that the biggest culprit are the over-the-counter drugs. Because you don't get a printout. You might get a little warning. Don't take this while driving. You might get drowsiness. You might experience drowsiness. Or don't take with alcohol. But it's not telling you what the true side effects of that medication is. It's just like the people who drink Red Bull. They figure they're taking it for energy. At the same time, it's destroying their bodies. Because now their body is not functioning or replenishing them with the energy that comes naturally from our systems. Now they become codependent to Red Bull. And when they think they're solving a problem, they're making one. This is inflicted. So it's different from a prescribed drug. The reason why is because many of the drugs was approved by the FDA 20, 30, and 40 years ago. So what you think? In that case, no follow-up research or testing to verify their long-term effects or their long-term safety. And a perfect example of that was when the COVID vaccine came out. It takes 3 to 5 years to do testing to discover if it's going to be safe, if it's going to be effective. Yet people are still getting sick. People are still getting sick. They even took boosters, and they're still getting sick today. That's a proven fact that these theories developed by the FDA is nothing but garbage. It's about profit. Are they giving something back for destroying lives? So we really got to think. We really got to take care of our health. But thank God to some independent organizations, today, due to some independent organizations, they are now discovering that prescribed and non-prescribed drugs are incredibly dangerous and ineffective. And I think from us on the inside looking out, that we can say yes to that. You know, when patients were coming to the clinic and for hypertension and diabetes, you know, I will always, try something holistic. Try some herbs. Try something. I said, if you're taking the medication for 5 years and more, and you are still in the same boat, then something is not right. Simple as that. You know, it's sad to say, they're supposed to be there to help. They're supposed to be there to cure. Yet those who can cure are being destroyed. Is something wrong with that picture? Is something we don't understand? Or are we so brainwashed that we can't, like our Heavenly Father say, tell the truth from a lie or the lie from the truth? So we really need to start putting on our thinking cap, being more alert. Don't get caught up in all the other stuff that's going on in the world, because we don't need to, because it's nothing new under the sun. But we need to focus on our health, because we need our body. We need our minds. We need our heart. In this part of life, we need these things to function, to be successful, to live the abundant life that our Heavenly Father has ordained for each and every one of us. We are entitled to it. And so we should not let anything get in our way, in our health, to stop us from obtaining the abundant life. Anyway, for example, cholesterol-lowering drugs are a major contributor to illness and disease due to their adverse effect on the liver. Now, the liver is only a fat metabolizing organ in the body and is needed for proper body function. So when the liver is adversely affected, we become prone to diabetes, acid reflux, constipation, colon cancer, heart disease, asthma, arthritis, and a dozen more illnesses and diseases. So not only is our food an issue, but the medication we take because of the symptoms we're experiencing, or the viruses and bacteria. So even though no one knows for sure that the cholesterol lowering drugs cause illness and disease, it is certainly obvious that they contribute 100% to the development of disease in our bodies. Just think that the same industry, that promotes prevention and cure diseases is the one that causes more sickness and disease today than ever before. All drugs are chemicals with negative side effects that can lead or cause death. A book highly recommended by Mr. Kevin is Overdose. It's a case against the drug companies written by Dr. J. Cohen, MD. There are over 250,000 Americans dying every year from prescribed and non-prescribed drugs. And over 2,000 people every year dies from taking aspirin. I remember when I think I was experiencing anxiety, and they sent me to do a heart test, and I was on the treadmill. And it was the physicians were great. They were great because I was running out of energy at the end, and they were coaching me on and go Jacqueline, and I was it pushed me to continue, and I finished. And when I returned to my physician, he said, take an aspirin a day. Let me tell you, I never took an aspirin a day. Sometimes we listen to our parents and sometimes we don't. You know what I mean? So that don't mean everything your physician tells you to do that you go out to do, that you go right ahead and do it. Like you're not going to think about it. You're not going to research about it. You're not going to talk to other, your family members or other patients, and see what they look on taking an aspirin a day. It's supposed to be good for the heart. Well, it might not be good for your liver. And that's what we're saying. You take a medication for one thing, and then it's destroying another thing. And then you end up, you still got that number one problem. And here now you created a second problem, and the list goes on and on and on. And that's how you get sicker and sicker and sicker. And eventually, the dialysis machine is waiting with open arms to welcome you. It's not saying that some people are not successful on dialysis. It all depends on their immune system and how imbalanced their body is, that they can withstand it. But there's others like that's the last straw. You don't want to go there. You don't want that to be you. I don't want that to be me. I don't want that to be anyone to go through that suffering. My sister's husband was on a diabetic, and then at the end he started, I think, something with his toe, or he was feeling this pain in his shoulder, and he thought maybe it was okay or whatever. When you look, his whole body was sepsis. They were putting him in machine, drawing the last little bit of money from his insurance company. They all in cahoots together. If you see the list of them that is all in cahoots together, you will say, oh my God, do we have a way out? Yes, you do. Yes, you truly do. You need to take control of your health. Well, let me don't go because, I'll go on and on. Let me get back. So, and they talk about this 250,000 Americans dying every year. But do you remember when COVID was on? Oh, we was getting a report every day. 10,000, 20,000 people falling dead. We ain't getting a report no more. Everything is all right. Never think everything is all right when it's not. They're just working on the next move. It's just like chess, you know? So some people say, oh, we're going to go back to normal. What is normal? Normal is a healthy body. No one can heal the body but the body. No one can heal your body but the body. So you have to put the right things in there. You got to be conscious of everything today. Our ancestors didn't have to worry too much about it. But today we do. You know, I got people living in countries that never even had a heart attack before or had any illnesses. I remember one patient came to the clinic and she only came to get a good report. Miss Louise was already 95 years old. She was driving from Orlando to Atlanta for a God by herself. Skin beautiful, radiant, had no pains, was not bent over, had no high blood pressure, had no diabetes. Her vision was well, even though she wore glasses. But she just come to the clinic to get a good report, to make sure that everything is, and that's what we should be going to our physician office for. Are we, going there confident and know that everything is all right? You're not going there scary, wondering what the doctor going to tell me today. I think my cousin just told me, a lady, they told her she has a tumor in her head and she's locking herself in the room because now she's accepting it. And she's going from this place to that place. They're sending her here and sending her there and still no results. How do you think she feels? We got to wake up. Let me finish up this part here. Coming to the closing. Please know that drugs are not the answer to preventing and curing disease, because they are the cause of the disease and the illness. So even if drugs don't directly cause a disease, they cause the body to go completely out of balance, causing the immune system to weaken, causing diseases to become more prevalent. So people that get sick the most are those that are taking the most medication. To conclude, illness is caused by 4 things, and I mentioned them. The number one is the toxin in our body. Like I stated before, once our bodies become toxic, it gets out of balance, then the immune system is weakened, enabling the body to fight, which enable the body to fight off viruses or bacteria that we catch or pick up. So part 3, we're still going to be talking about toxins, but we're going to be talking about what goes in our body, what comes out of our body, exercise, rest, your thoughts, and even what we say. I hope I will be able to put all that together and bring it to you next week. But let me tell you, it's time for us to become the number one, the best health advocate of ourselves and our families. Because if we want opportunity and we want to live a healthy lifestyle, we got to start somewhere. And we got to start using the herbs that we know that can bring better results without the side effects and the negative effects that medication or drugs, prescribed or non-prescribed, over the counter, that cause us to be sicker and sicker and sicker. So I thank you so much for your listening ear. And just, I'm not telling you to change anything. I'm not a physician. I'm just bringing knowledge that I learned myself. It helps me, and I know it will help you. Thanks again. Enjoy the rest of the webinar. And back to you, Queen Debbie.
Wow. You nailed it, girl. You nailed it. I've never heard toxins talked about the way you lay it out there. And this makes me wonder. It seems like everything I put in my body is toxic. And that's what is out there in the market. So how do you nourish this body without using those toxic things out there? They give you medication to lower cholesterol. It creates other side effects. You don't take it, you still have side effects. Anyway, I'm not even going to attempt, but I'm glad I said you have a continuation of this topic because it's very educational. To me, it's very educational, and I believe our audience is educational to them as well. And we look forward to that next part, which you're bringing next week. Thank goodness you're healthy. We know you will find time to do some more research so you can educate us next week.
Yes,
Thank
indeed.
you.
You're welcome, Queen Debbie.
All right. Now, I hope that you will. Hello, audience. Thank you. Thank you for the applause. I hope you were making notes during Queen JW's presentation. This is a time to comment or comment either on on her presentation or what you have experienced regarding the topic she just shared. So I'm going to pause here, and I know Dr. Benny is in the house, and she's so good at seeing who has raised a hand and who has a question. But before Dr. Benny starts, I'm going to call on Dr. T because she has a virtual hand. She has a natural hand up. Over to you, Dr. T.
We are going to rename JW Dr. JWMD. You have a new title. You got to get rid of JW. We got to start calling you JWMD, okay? Or whatever, or naturopathic, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll give you a new title, okay? All right, now, excellent presentation, as always. Always. And that's the wonderful thing about this platform. I think that all the speakers who come to this platform, I believe they challenge you. I mean, I think everybody on this platform can say, okay, we're being challenged. We're being challenged to change. Although the money hasn't come through yet, we're still growing.
Yeah.
We're still evolving. You know, we're becoming the best versions of ourselves. And you play a very vital role in that. JW naturopathic doctor. I gotta come up with a new title for you, okay? Everything. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Inspire us also.
Yes, thank you.
You bring every Tuesday.
I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much.
Appreciate
Okay, take it away, Dr. Benny.
Man, thank you. You're really a doctor. That's true. Gee. Okay. Thank you so much. I'm going to call on Queen Rosanna. Could you please unmute yourself and share your excitement or any question that you have, please?
Yes, good evening, everyone. And Dr. J.W. Warner. Why did you jump like that? We're here for that. And Dr. J.W., you said there were first 4 things that cause illness in the body. Number 1 was toxin. I didn't get the other three because my computer was acting up and I had to, log off and get onto my phone. So can you go ahead and let me have the other three?
Yes. Number 2, we have nutritional deficiencies.
Oh.
Number 3, we are exposed and negatively affected by the electromagnetic chios. And number 4, we have trapped mental and emotional stress.
Repeat those again.
Okay. Number 2, we have nutritional deficiencies.
Got that.
Number 3, we are exposed and negatively affected by magnetic chaos, CHAOS.
Queen JW, may I suggest you just type that in the chat? So
yes, I can do that.
It will be best because people are trying to hear the.
Okay, I will type it. I will put it in the chat right now.
Okay, and Dr. J.W. Warner, the next question I have for you is, how do we help ourselves with herbs? What herbs do we take for these, deficiencies and exposes and trap mental? How do we help ourselves with these stuff? How do we detox, get toxins out of our bodies and stay healthy and vibrant?
Yes. Well, you can always Google for detoxes or some remedies you can get from some of the elder folks, our elders. Also, they can tell you of some great remedies, but you can always Google your colon got to be cleansed. The colon especially, because sometimes we have so much feces in our system that loads of it. I'm telling you, loads of it that we don't even know is there, that can cause issues for the rest of the systems of the body. And herbs that can help. Well, Dr. Derek always talk about us eating our fruits, but you got to make sure that you're getting your fruits from a reputable source, because even the fruits are genetically modified.
Right.
And they're talking about even modifying them even more genetically if you leave it to Mr. Bill Gates himself.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
So, right. So are you going to, do you have an office that we can call and get some?
You really think as a doctor, I'm going to beat you?
No, I know, Queen Jacqueline, that you're not really a doctor, but I know that you did some natural stuff there. So we would like to get those.
But you see, I reside also in St. Martin. So I have access to my natural fruits, and I grow my own fruits, some of my fruits in my garden. So, and I share with my neighbors, but that's a good way to start. But if you're in the United States, you have to get with one of the farmers or those who, a matter of fact, I know in Orlando, there's groups that grow vegetables that even, the thing is you got to talk. Because that's the only way you're going to know things that's going on right in your neighborhood. Right under your very nose that's going on that you're not aware of. So find out of groups in your area. You got to do some research. Put it in Google. Things just pop up. Go to YouTube. Put things in. Things pop up. I learn a lot of stuff from YouTube itself, not from Google, but from YouTube. So I will say YouTube is the best option in looking for different herbs, in learning about things you should eat and you shouldn't eat. So, and that's where I get a lot of information from. This information I'm getting from a book that I bought like probably 10, 20 years ago. that, and he also have a YouTube channel also, so it has over 250 cures. So I put it last week. I will put it again in the chat for you. It's at naturalcures.com. So you can visit there. And Mr. Kevin has a YouTube channel, and he also have a Rumble channel. Okay.
Right.
I will put his name in the chat so you can Google it, not Google it, but go to YouTube. That way you can.
Right. So Dr. Kevin will also give me the natural cures for cholesterol, right?
Yes, because you know something, your body's supposed to have cholesterol to function. I think what you do, your body has cholesterol already, correct? But the thing is, when you go to the supermarket, you're buying things that has cholesterol also, or you're eating things high in cholesterol. Okay, so maybe that's what's elevating the cholesterol, but then that's the bad cholesterol that you're putting in your system. The only time cholesterol become a problem is when you have damaged arteries. And what happened, the cholesterol start to attach to the damaged artery. So the problem for your cholesterol is not your cholesterol, but to find out if your arteries are damaged. That's the question for your physician. Instead of focusing on your cholesterol, he should find out what the problem is that's elevating your cholesterol.
Okay.
We can't tell doctors what to do, right? Because they might get offended. But you still have to be educated and let them know that you are educated, and they will treat you different.
Okay, good. That sounds good, yeah.
Don't go in there like, I don't know. You're the one.
Right,
you got all
right.
the answers. No, you have to make sure, research and educate yourself before you go to the physician office. I always tell the patients, write the stuff down before you come. Know what you're going to ask. Because the doctor is on a time clock. 15-minute slot. Anything else, ma'am? Your next appointment.
But the doctor is trying to tell me that my cholesterol is elevated and they want to put me on medication. And I said, no, let me try diet first. I'm not going to do that.
Yes, you watch what you eat. Watch the things that you buy that has cholesterol on it. It's on the label. It comes with reading your label. Read your label, even though there's probably 15,000 other things. So you got to be careful. Stay as close as possible to God food, and you won't have a cholesterol problem.
That's correct, because I stopped eating rice and flour and meat and all those stuff right now. So, I will be turning 62 in August, but I feel like I'm still 25. I don't know anything about what is being old.
Well, 65 is not old anyway.
Right. I don't know. I don't know anything about old because I just feel the same way like I was 25 or 30. So I don't know the difference.
You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job, Queen Rosanna. You're doing an awesome job. Keep it up. And don't let them deter you, because once they get you on the pill, baby, that's the whole key, is to get you on that medication.
Right.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your question. Thank you.
Great information. Thank you. Thank you for, uplifting us, on this program so that we can look into our health that we never generally do before. So this is really enlightening to all of us here. All right. Thank you so much. Great job. Thank you for a great presentation.
Thank you. Thank you, Queen Rosanna.
You're welcome, dear. Bye-bye now.
Bless.
Queen Rosanna, thank you for that question.
You are welcome, dear. Anytime. Sit down.
Thank you. Dr. Derek wants to say something. Proceed, Dr. Derek.
Peace, blessings, love, holy, plenty, a lot of love
to the bathroom.
Kings
and
queens. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Rosanna. And of course, thank you very much, First Lady, Queen Dr. Benny. And of course, thank you, Queen Debbie, the host of the most, for the most, in in medium dose. I thank you very much, Queen Debbie. Anyway, oh my goodness, I think, listen, it's right to say Dr. JW, because I mean, for the past few months, you have been rocking the boat with health that will lead into wealth. Because if you don't have health, it might as well you don't have wealth. Well, you don't have wealth if you don't have health. You not enjoy wealth if you don't have health. And so we all need to choose wealth, because choosing wealth is in the same light that health has to be incorporated. That is why our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ says, He wishes above all things that we prosper and be in good health, even as our soul prosper. And this is why you never hear of Abraham having a sickness, and you never hear um, David having a sickness. You never hear, Noah and Adam and all of these people that you hear in the Bible living for 900 plus years old and all those things. You never hear about any sickness. You know, hear no sickness. You know, when you hear sickness, Egyptians. That is when you hear sickness in the Bible, Egyptians. All right? And so when you check the same diseases that we have today, the Egyptians have back then, right? And it's closely tied into the flesh part. Let me say that again. It is closely tied into the flesh part. All the diseases of the Egyptian is closely tied in the flesh part. Let's stop eating flesh. That's the first step. Stop eating flesh. As a lot of the diseases, you say, listen. I am living in the time that you are living right now. In this day. So all right. Adam, oh mercy, the food did good. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, all of those people back in Bible days, the food did good. Right? You never have so much sin. Although that's a lie, sin did worse. Because when a man, when a whole town, when a whole city coming to knock down a man's door and say, send out the man that you have in there, so that we can have our waiting with them. Then, I don't know what was worse. You think LGBTYNZ did terrible? No, man, it did worse in Sodom and Gomorrah. It did worse, right? And so nothing changes. Everything remains the same. But you and I, all we need to do is make a conscious decision to live the way God wants us to live. And that is stated in Genesis 1. Read Genesis 1, I think it's 26 to 29, especially. And we will get what we are to put into our bodies. Stop putting all these rubbish. None of us. If I was to ask, show a hand who would take even a drop of cyanide. Nobody would take even a drop of cyanide. We are still cyanidizing ourselves every day. What we put into our bodies. Let us stop. I've been doing this from 1998. You understand? And I don't think I look any bad. I don't think I look terrible. I don't think I look haggard. I don't think I look old. And yes, Queen Rosanna, I'm in 60s also. And I don't think I look terrible. And I've been eating without flesh since 1998. And it has been good. God has kept me. So let us trust in God. That's what we do. Just trust in God. Stop trusting in our own selves and our own devices. And trust in God. Because God has a plan for each and every one of us if we just trust Him. Just trust Him. And let us live a healthy life. As I am living a wealthy, healthy life. And I thank God for providing that healthy, wealthy life for me, because it's right there in the Word. So thank you very much, Dr. Jacqueline Warner. Really appreciate. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, Dr. Derek. Appreciate this platform and all the leaders.
See, I'm just laughing. I'm laughing because this particular topic is scary. It is. Does anyone have any question, please, before I say anything?
Oh, no, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
One of the quickest ways to detox or to chase out the radicals and all of your system is your berry family. Your berry family. Blend it, eat it same way. Blackberry, blueberry, strawberry, raspberry, gooseberry, all of these berries. Just eat them. Eat them every day. Every day. Every day. Right? And then in the lunchtime you back it up with some herbs. Green leafy herbs. You know, those don't even steam it. Just do it in a salad. Throw some nuts on it. Throw some cranberry or raisin or what have you. Right? But not the one that you get from the food store. Right? No. Blend your nuts. Get your nuts from the farmers market or those health food store. Right? Better yet, if you can find somebody who grow them or grow them yourself. The ultimate is growing for yourself to consume. And as what Queen Dr. Jacqueline Warner says earlier, speak people in your community, because somebody else want to do it, And sometimes if you see a piece of land that has been vacant for a few donkey years, as you will say, and you go to the parish council or whatever they call it in your area, and a few community persons come together and say, listen, we're going to work that land for the community. We're going to grow some little vegetables, this, that, so that the community can benefit. 9 chances out of 10, you will get it. All right? So, please, you need to speak. Leaders lead. Leaders lead. You say it a third time. Leaders lead. The next thing you can do quickly is to get a teaspoon of charcoal, the activated one, the food grade one, not the one that you grill on. We're talking that charcoal. We're talking the food grade activated one that you can consume. Just get a tablespoon, put in a glass of water, stir it up a little, and drink. And what that will do is suck the toxins out of your body, and you see it inside of your throne, right? And hopefully you are ruling your subjects 2 to 3 times a day. If you are not ruling your subjects, sitting on the throne, ruling your subjects 2 to 3 times a day, and instead of a week, I say a day, then you're having a toxic problem in your body, right? So this is the quickest way to know if you're having a toxic problem in your body, not ruling subjects. All right, so please, 2-3 times a day, rule your subjects. Thank you very much. Back to First Lady, quick Dr. Benny.
Thank you so much, Dr. Derek. Oh, man. I know, Queen JW, we need more of this. A lot of people, I feel sorry for people not attending deep dive, okay? Before I proceed, I want to take this special moment to thank our Heavenly Father for bringing Queen Jacqueline Warner here, where everybody, for bringing everyone here this evening, this morning, or afternoon. It all depends upon your location. I also want to thank him for sending our visionary to you and I. This visionary needs our prayers, right? Despite the fact that he prays for himself, we also need to pray for him. If you have the time and if you love him, you pray for our visionary, Mr. Ash Mufare. It's because of him that we are here. It's because of him that I know Brother Carlton. I'm not lying. Brother Carlton, I want to thank you for always coming here, showing your face to all of us. Thank you for your dedication. Queen Jacqueline Warner, I don't know what to say, but as Queen Debbie always said, you nailed it. This time I will say it. These things that you are teaching us, when I went to the internet, I saw it, I almost cried. No, I mean, when it comes to toxins, we really need to go and do that research, as you told Queen Rosanna. Queen Rosanna, you said something, you were asking about how to remove the toxins, right? Actually, if you go to that to Google, and it says that there are no clear evidence, right? There are no clear evidence that about the effectiveness of, let me say, detox diet. Although there are a lot of advertisement for diet and detox formula that they talk about. There's no scientific evidence that will benefit us at the moment. But it is true that in order to eliminate harmful substance from your body, you need your organs to function properly. So the most important organs, when Jacqueline, as you said, is the liver and kidney, right? So when I found out that you need to drink water. Therefore, it is very important to hydrate well and drink between 1.5 and 2 liters, which is 6 to 8 cups of water a day. I know that to me, sometimes it's difficult to drink, but after listening to you, I am forced to drink water. So, Queen Rosanna, drink plenty of water. This will help your kidney to produce more urine, and it will cleanse itself. It will cleanse your body often. And it says that locally, if you reduce the harmful substance you ingest, because some of us, we don't really know what we ingest. Now, the worst thing is that, I'm not going to lie, here in the United States, a lot of our brothers and sisters, queens and kings in this country, don't like to cook. So what they do is that they eat the food from the can. That's what they do because of laziness. I will say it, and I will say it in front of them. All right? Canned food. Come on now. You cannot sit and cook. And then I notice how some of us, since we are lazy, we can't cook. Some of us go out there also to buy food, right? We are buying food that somebody has already prepared. Now, do you know? No, I'm getting scared. Do you know what that particular individual put into that food? You and I don't know. I am serious. I'm scared. Queen Jacqueline, I'm not going to sit here and preach, but I think we need more of these topics because of what is going to be transpiring pretty soon with our payment and all whatnot. Hopefully, the more you come here and teach, people who wants to listen or who wants to attend deep dive, let them come. If they don't want to, that is fine. Because you can make all the billions of dollars, and if you cannot take care of your health, it's nothing. And when you die, the money goes to the government. People do not know that. I wish I can just preach like this so that the whole world should just listen to know what is happening with our body, with our system. Queen Jacqueline, I don't know the next topic. Maybe more and more about these toxins, because
Yes.
it's important. It talks about the liver and the kidney, which is the main. Please, thank you so much. I will be quiet at the moment, but thank you. We appreciate you, and see you next week. I'm going to hand it over to Queen Debbie.
Thank you so much, Queen Dr. Betty. Yes, I will be talking more. Next week, you probably won't see me because I will be traveling, but the week after, I will continue.
Thank you, Queen JW. Yes.
Okay.
We'll miss you next week, but we're preparing for the week after
Yes.
for the continuation of this healthy things.
Oof.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I try as hard as I can to eat healthy, but I know there's something from the part of the world where we come from called soya. And a lot of our people are dying because they eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with alcohol. And that's the killer, because that meat is not good. And most of it has a lot of fat. So anyway, we've talked over an hour on this, so I'm not going to continue. We'll wait for you to come back with part 3 in 2 weeks' time. Thank you, Queen JW. We appreciate you as always. And Dr. Derek, thank you for your input. And back to you, Dr. Benny, for always supporting and reminding us of why we're here on Passive. And Mr. Ash Mufari brought us together. And we have managed to form our individual groups. So we go wherever we want, and then we still come back to that group that we feel we belong or is home. And this is home. Thank you, Mr. Mufari, for making it possible. And thank you, Dr. Derek, for creating it and making it accessible to everyone and anyone who believes in the same dreams as you do. And Dr. Derek, you've decided to choose wealth today, and you're going to share that. You know, a lot of people do not know what the acronym AFEM means.
Sometimes we see it and sometimes we do not. Just for the future and just for now, to clarify for those who may not know, Dr. Derek has Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal added to his name. That is not something you just get overnight. Our Dr. Derek Clark from the beautiful island of St. Andrew in Jamaica loves technology. Did you see what he had in it to win it? Only somebody with his background can do that. He is certified in so many things. And he owns his own business for decades. He's empowered and trained so many groups, so many parishes. There's no need enumerating them, but the reason why I just wanted to enlighten these few things is for us to understand that Passive has blessed us with a wonderful person who has so much knowledge about everything. And we are honored that we are here on this platform to listen to him share his knowledge with us. And today, the knowledge he's going to share is about wealth. Choose Wealth by Dr. Derek Clark, AFEM. Thank you, Dr. Derek. Over to you.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Peace, blessings, enough, holy, plenty, a lot of love to the kings and queens in the house. Thank you very much, Queen Debbie. Really, really appreciate that kind introduction. And just to let you know, actually, it was the president of United States presidential medal, actually. Just so kind of clear it up. It's a presidential medal, you know, and yes, they don't fling it to anybody. That is true. Oh, mercy, amen, church. Anyway, um, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Debbie. Really appreciate it. And thanks again, um, Queen Dr. Jacqueline Warner. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness, that was awesome. That was awesome. Definitely. Because listen, you and I need to choose. It's a choice, you know. It's a choice to choose wealth. Wealth don't just come dry source. Listen, there's a difference between wealth and riches. A big difference between wealth and riches. And most of us are confused. They think that, you know, driving, having 5, 6, 7 Bentley and 2 Ferrari and 1 um, you know, Bugatti, you know, and maybe a couple BWs are, you know, that is, you're wealthy. No, you're stupid. All right, I can only drive one. All right, so a nice good car for yourself, nice good car for your spouse if you have one, and maybe a spare, and that's it. You know, 7, 8, 9, 10 cars. Come on. All right. Anyway, that's for another day, another day, another day. However, let me see, beautiful and nice, and this one, okay. And so therefore, we're going to choose wealth today. All right, we're going to choose wealth today. And so let us look at what is happening with respect to where this whole thing about wealth, because you and I know actually about Rich Dad Poor Dad. Everybody know Robert Kiyosaki. We have been saying this person's name over and over for the past, maybe 4 years now. All right. But everyone knows that Rich Dad Poor Dad is a book that Robert Kiyosaki um, you know, wrote back in the day, and it was about his two dads. No, he didn't have two of that type of dad. It was his biological dad, which is a poor dad, and of course his friend's dad, which is rich one, right? And so he was back and forth with what his poor dad says, and of course what his friend's dad says, which is the rich dad. Another book that he did was the cash flow quadrant, and everyone kind of have an idea of what all this cash flow quadrant is about. There are four ways, right? Four ways to generate wealth. Four ways to generate or produce income. Four ways, only four, right? Um, so one, of course, the left side is inner income, and the right side is leveraged or passive income. All right. The first one is employment. Most people are employed, um, and only 5% of this group becomes wealthy. Right. I think maybe um, what Amazon name again? Jeff Bezos. I think Jeff Bezos is one of those persons who could say that was wealthy because he had a nice job that gave him $3.2 million a year, or 2.3, 2.3 million US dollars a year. Company car, company vacation, company medical, etc., etc. Yes, you and I know that he left that and started his own business, where he went over onto the right side of quadrant, right? But a few persons get become wealthy here, right? The amount of active work determines the income. We know that everybody has 24 hours a day, and so time equals dollars. The amount of time you put in equal the amount of dollars that you will earn. You can't earn more than 24 hours will allow to. Even if you have 5 jobs, it doesn't matter. You will still be limited. Right? And then self-employment is basically the same as employment, but it's not that you own the slavery, right? Because with the job, you are just over broke. That's it, right? And with the self-employment, you own the just over broke, right? So you're still just over broke on the left side of the quadrant, right? No leveraging. 95% of the population, right? At some point is self-employed, right? Do their one thing. And so you're still trading time for money. When you jump over the right side of the quadrant, business owner, that's where the thing kind of starts. Your own business system, we are now leveraging yourself with people, so other people now work for you. You understand? And so, leveraging is where income does not depend on active work. So it depend on you and you alone, right? And so people work for you. And that is where the leveraging starts. But when you get in the fourth quadrant, where you are an investor or a founder of your own business, and this is where Ashmafari want all of us to be. Want us to be owners of our own business, and that takes a little while. It's not a 2-year thing or a 3-year thing or a 4-year thing or a 5-year thing, right? To be a business owner, it's not 1, 2, 3, right? 5%, because if this was easy, then listen, it would not be just 5% of the population that is in this category, right? So this is what Ashmafar is building for us. And this cannot take 2 years or 3 years or 5 years or even 10 years really build properly. So let us stop the murmuring and just be patient, right? Income does not depend on active work. And this is what Ashafari is building for us, right? Where your money is working for you. You're leveraging your money to work for you. No, you and I don't have the $10,000 to invest, the $20,000 or $500,000 to invest in something worthwhile. Where even if you get a 3 or 5% on your money, then woo, you're gone. See, we don't have that kind of leveraging, right? So you and I will have to wait, so to speak, for a long, maybe our whole life before we have some good money to work for us, right? So this is what Ashmufari is trying his very best to do for us, where the money is going to work for us, which is a very, very, extremely, very good thing, right? And so this is what the statements between the poor dad, which is Robert Kiyosaki, poor dad, and his friend, rich dad. Love of money is the root of all evil. All right? But the rich dad says, lack of money is the cause of evil. Because a lot of time you check out, when a man hungry and can't find work, he went to go around the corner and do something evil to get that going, right? His poor dad would say, I can't afford it when he come ask him that for anything. But his friend rich dad would say, how can I afford it, right? His poor dad would say, study hard so you can find a job. The rich dad would say, study hard. So the thing is that not to study hard so you can buy a business, right? That is what you and I want to do, right? The reason I'm not rich is my care. What I've be to the blame on your children that them spin you dry. But it's rich that say, I need to reach for my kids. That is the way to go, right? Don't take risk. It's poor that would say, and but is rich that would say, learn to manage risk. It's poor that would say, find a job. Is rich that would say, buy a business. And most of us know that it's poor that is not interested in money, don't know why, right? And of course, it's rich that say money gives power. And of course, all of us know this one very well. Poor that says work for your money. And even Dan Sommer sing a song, working for your money, work hard for money in 83. And Dolly Parton said working 9 to 5, the way to make a living, etc. etc. Learn how money can work for you, which is the way to really go. Apple in 1976, if you heard about Apple, because a lot of us only know about Apple in the late 90s, early 2000s when iPhone came. But actually, Apple started in 1976. That is when it was launched to the public. Three founders, Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ronald Wayne. Now watch this. If you had, this is 1976, if you had $1,000 to invest in Apple company in 1976, and you let it sit there for 3 years until December 1980, well, 4 years actually, until December 1980, then your $1,000 will have now worth 430,000 US. Now, in 1966, a lot of people didn't have $1,000 to just sit down like that for 4 years. All right? So, kind of difficult, right? Actually, Apple generated about 300 million more capital than GM in 1956. So, yes, this is what we are talking about. And so, Asmofar is trying his best to do the same thing in a different format, which is now, remember, Apple had 4 founders. The non-passive launched to the public in 2022, November 28, 2022. And we have 1,427,483 founding members position. You see the big vast difference. Already we should be Guinness Book of World Record, because this is definitely a world record, right? To become a founding member, we paid 97 US dollars, of which that money was refunded to every founding position. Which company will do that? Only Ashmofar and Passive did it. Another Guinness Book World Record, I might say. And so no one can say that Ashmofar took anybody's money and run away with it, because it was refunded. So at this stage, let me just make a disclaimer right here. At this stage, nobody that got a founding member position can ask back for $97 because it was refunded. Okay? And so therefore, choose wealth, because 97 US dollars cannot start a business. Because if you were to start a business on your own, you would need $997.35 just to register the business, just to register. All right. So it was Warren Buffett that actually says, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. Nothing is wrong with working, but in this case, you must enjoy the work what you're doing. Don't work to make a living. Work because it is fun and because you want to do it, not to put money in your pocket, but to enjoy your life. Passive income is a way to be wealthy. And so this came up many times in even my presentation. If I give a penny doubled each day for a month, would you want that? Or would you want me to just give you 1 million US dollars today right now? And most people want the 1 million US dollars, especially those who have never been in a business before. Because when we look at the fact of the matter, yes, a penny a day double don't seem like much through the first 28 days. It does 27 days. It doesn't look like much. Because on day 27, you're talking about just $671,000 on day 21. But look at day 28. Bam! Over a million. And by day 30, those 3 days, that money is jumping, like jumping jack. So therefore, on day 31, it would be over $10 million on day 31. That is known as compounding. This is a process where the value of an investment increases because the earnings of an investment, both capital gain and interest, earn interest as time passes. Linear is only on the principal. A job is linear. That's it. Job is linear. So linear growth occurs at a constant rate with equal increments added or subtracted over time, while exponential growth involves a constant multiplier that drives an increase or decrease over time. Linear income is a traditional way to earn money by exchanging time for work. It's also known as work income and is paid in direct relation to the number of hours that you work. But watch exponential income, also called passive income, means earning for a very long time from work you did only once. So you did this work only once, but over years you are still getting paid. Michael Jackson died. I'm still getting paid for all those records and all those albums and all those LPs that he had created. One time in the studio, one time, write a book. You know, Queen Dr. Tunishai Ford can tell you she has 4 books. And write that one time. She don't write that book every time that somebody wants to buy a book. She wrote that book once, and it is on the shelf. And every time somebody buys that book, she's getting paid. She's getting paid, right? Every time. So, what is the definition of wealth? What's the definition of wealth? A common misconception about wealth is that a high income, fancy cars, nice houses means that someone is wealthy. We believe there is a distinct difference between rich and superficial trappings of wealth and true wealth. Because with true wealth, it is a total thing. Wealth is the freedom to focus on what really matters. Do what you really want, when you want, and how you want. It's not an artificial series of numbers on a spreadsheet or how many zeros in your bank account. No. And so, next week, come join us again, where we are going to look at 5 levels of building wealth. 5 levels of building wealth. So this week, we'll just give you a tease of what is to come. So come next week, we're going to jump into 5 levels, because the question is, how much wealth do you want? How wealthy do you want to be? There's a formula now. There's a formula. How wealthy do you want to be? Come next week, Thursday, same time, same place, when we look at the 5 levels, build the wealth. Thank you very much. Really appreciate. And back over to you, Queen Debbie McCormick.
Oh my goodness. Dr. Derek, did I just see you do a 15-minute presentation instead of a 1-hour presentation? Ha! Uh-huh. Wow, we must have been in a new world that you just give us what we need at the time we need it. And I, for one, I have chosen worth. And whether it comes through whatever wallet, I have chosen worth. And you have reiterated that several times. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I've already been benefiting from some of that worth, either from being able to find time and listen to the presentations from you and other people who have the opportunity to save time to share. But this one today, Kiyosaki, whatever his name, you know what I'm trying to say. He is the one, his ideas resonate with everybody and anyone who wants to take it into practice. And that quadrant thing that Dr. Derek put on in the beginning of his presentation is just something that we should look into carefully during our private time. There's no question and discussion that will answer anything for you. But when you have your quiet moment, reflect on it and reflect on what Dr. Derek just presented. So, people, I hope you made notes when Dr. Derek was doing the presentation. At this time, it's questions and discussions, or I know in some, I don't say questions and answers because there are no answers. It's a discussion between us, the person who did the presentation and whomever is asking for clarification. And thank you, Dr. Derek. Before I pass it over to Dr. Benny, I want to thank you for clarifying that you had a presidential. Your medal was a presidential one. Thank you. We really, I don't know which president, but I have to thank that president and let him know that he's not the only one who had eyes on you. We brought together by Unpassive through Ash Mufare also have eyes on you and will continue to. So thank you, Mr. President, for honoring our brother. Over to you, Dr. Benny.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Queen Debbie, for giving me this opportunity. Before I call somebody, I want to take this moment to thank Dr. Derek for your amazing, should I say it, astonishing presentation. We appreciate you. I know that you go out there and do your research and then you come and teach us. We really appreciate you for this. Thank you. Does anyone have any comments or any question based upon this topic?
I just want to say thank you so much, Dr. Derek, for the mindset, for empowering us and help us to understand what wealth really means if we really want it. So thanks again for your time and your research, and thank you for this amazing platform. We appreciate you very much. Thanks again.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Queen JW. Thank you for your acknowledgement and your support. We appreciate you. Does anyone have any question, or if you cannot raise your hands electronically, could you please write your question or your comment on the chat? Let me know if you have anything to say. If not, I will hand it over to Queen Dr. Nadu. Someone is appreciating Queen Debbie.
Dr. Bennett, before you hand it over, we have to close the YouTube channel.
Yes, I was just waiting to find out if anyone have anything then before I hand it over. But it seems, just give me a minute, please. Okay. We have, hold on. Trying to scroll down.
Rosanna, hand is up.
Great, thank you. Queen Rosanna, are you available, please?
Sorry, guys, I couldn't get my speaker on. Yes, my hero, Dr. Derek. Oh, you always bring forth something enticing to us. And you did it again, Dr. Derek. And we are so happy. We are ready and waiting to do everything that is right in unpassive, okay? Because we are unpassivians and we are going to, we are in it to win it. So whatever it takes to win Dr. Derek, we are there to do it. My Dr. Derek, my hero, okay? That's my little bit for tonight, Dr. Derek.
Oh, mercy. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Appreciate. Peace, blessings, enough love. Queen Rosanna.
Queen Rosanna, we appreciate you. All right. I notice we don't have any other thing on the chat. So at this moment, Dr. Derek, do your thing before we hand it over to Dr. Nadu.
Thank you, Queen Sister Dr. Benny. We want to appreciate each and everyone who is here with us today live on the platform, Deep Dive, and those who are watching us on YouTube live. We look forward to having you every Tuesday and Thursday on this forum, and the sister platforms on Wednesdays, Empowering Humanity with Julie Pierre, and on Sundays, Dream Team, and with Niger Deep Dive as Idi Hot. So thank you once more. We're moving to the next segment of the webinar, which is after party. So stay with us, those who schedule allows them, so we can do the after party for this. But until next week, Tuesday and Thursday, on this forum, same time, thank you for being with us today. Bye for now. Dr. Nadu, over to you. And, by the way, Dr. Nadu, before
Stopped recording.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Dr. Derek already said his final words. I was going to call on him to say his final words, but I recall that he did do that. So back to you, Dr. Nadu. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for being here and what you do best, no matter what happens.